What is up, guys? This is the Karmic DF from TikTok. Today we're going to talk about why we're so miserable and what we can do to beat that, what we can do to actually be happy during a pandemic, during a time when the world feels like it is literally falling apart. What steps can we take to make a better living situation for ourselves? Even if you identify as an empath, light worker, healer, spiritual person, whatever, we are born with an ego, correct? The first 7 years of our life, we are living solely in our ego. The problem that we have a lot of times, and these are all little things, but if you work on these little things throughout time, you will start to see a difference in your overall happiness. We live in what's called the state of mindness, and that basically means that even though it is very important to put yourself first and to put your needs first, we share this world. We cohabitate with everyone around us. And we tend to be kind of assholes sometimes. And we don't realize it because it's never actually that serious. To make this easier, I'm going to start with an example so you get an idea of the mindness attitude. Let's say that you have a roommate, okay? Or a friend, whatever. And you've decided that you want to relax for the rest of the day, right? You had a real long day, you're tired, you need to refill your cup, you're energetically drained, and your roommate, who doesn't know, is in the other room and they're being loud as shit, right? They're banging stuff, they're listening to loud music, they're on the phone too loud, they're playing their videos too loud, and you're starting to seethe. You're starting to be like, this is my time. I need this time. I need to respect myself and I need to relax. I need to fill my own cup, and this person is getting in the way of my time. This is what I mean by the mindness attitude. And yes, it is true that you are deserving of your free time and everything like that. However, you do not have control over other people. You don't have control over their emotions. You don't have control over how they're going to act, how they're going to treat you. Usually when we find ourselves in these situations, we get really pissed off, we get really irritated, and we start those arguments, and we defend ourselves because we are used to defending ourselves, which I'll get to that because that's inner child trauma. But you get to the point where you need to defend yourself. Stop disrespecting me. I'm trying to relax. I want things to be quiet. It's 8 o'clock at night. Why are you not You know what I mean? And then there's a fight that never needed to happen because you're in the frame of mindness. So how do we change that? How do we make ourselves happier? How do we stop getting triggered by things that are so simple that we shouldn't even be getting triggered to begin with? Have to realize that we cohabitate on this planet. We are not owed anything, and we can make ourselves happy when obstacles get in the way. We have to stop making ourselves feel like these things are just the worst things that could happen, because I'll have those days where I'm like, I need to relax, my energy's drained, blah, 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 blah. And then somebody hits me up and they call me and they give me an attitude, where have you been? I haven't talked to you in forever. And then I want to argue, and it's like, I don't owe you my time. I don't owe you anything, But we have to get out of that frame of mindness because we are all in a group. We are all here together experiencing life. And what someone else wants to do has nothing to do with you. And most of the time, they're not thinking about your feelings. They're not thinking about, oh, are they okay with A, B, and C? And chances are you're used to that because you lived in a dynamic where you had to be used to A, B, and C. Will this trigger this person? Will this upset that person? Do you see how the childhood wounds can start to come out? As you're starting to heal yourself, and even before you start to heal yourself, there is that attitude of, I am owed. But in reality, if you want to truly be happy with life, you need to realize that we're on a ball in the middle of the universe that just happens to have life. We are like little ants, in comparison. We are not owed anything. This is an experience that we are all having and that we need to learn to have together. We need to learn to be around other people to enjoy that together. With this mindness mentality, that stuff builds up over time. All of this anger that we feel constantly when we feel like we're owed something, when we feel like we're being disrespected, a lot of the times we ruminate and we fester in these attitudes and these behaviors. And what we don't do is sit down and ask ourselves, where is this coming from? Why am I being so triggered? My neighbor is playing music too loud and they're mowing their lawn, and now I'm pissed the hell off. Why am I so angry? We don't get to that point. We go, it's them, it's not me. I'm mad because you did that. It's a blaming type of thing. It's like you, them, they, not me. I'm innocent. But in reality, all relationships, all situations, anything to do with more than one person, it always takes two. It always takes every person that is involved in the dynamic. Maybe when that roommate is banging pots and pans and loudly on their phone and playing their music and you're getting irritated, instead of being like, oh, they're assholes and I'm pissed because me, why don't you pause and go, well, let's try to figure out why they're being so loud and obnoxious, and then you can find out later on that they're on the phone with their cousin because their brother was in the hospital. You have no idea what's going on with other people, what's going on in their lives. And we live in this it's about me mentality, which again, like I said in the beginning, is super important if you want to self-respect, if you want to defend yourself when needed, and if you want to have a life that you truly enjoy. Once you truly accept that you don't have control over other people because everybody's got their own shit, this stops feeling so intense. You can start to realize, hey, that person's a hot mess over there. I'm trying to focus on myself. Let me see what else I can do. That person's too loud. Let me put my headphones in. That person's in the way of me doing X, Y, and Z. Let me do the other thing that I was thinking about doing. We hold ourselves back and we like to, I hate to say it, we like to play victim where it's like, oh, I can't get anything done. I can't do this. I can't do that because of somebody else. You're giving way too much power away to someone that has no control over you at all. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide the life that you want. And when we feel like we're owed little things, that shit builds up over time. That's why you're angry in traffic. That's why you can't handle a red light. That's why you get mad when someone cuts you off. It has nothing to do with those little things. It is the accumulation of all of that stuff combined, because we power through life. We don't feel our feelings. We just say it is what it is, and then we just get over it. And then you get disease, and we talk about that for I don't know how long, but we're still giving ourselves health problems, and nobody wants to talk about that, but that could be a different video. Let me know. So yeah, moving forward, how do we stop this mindness attitude? How do we start to be happy in our day-to-day life without being triggered by outside things that we have no control over? We have to do the inner work. We have to find out where it's stemming from, because you don't get mad for no reason, especially if your level of anger is like up here. The more angry you are, the more likelihood it is that it's not coming from where it is you're getting angry. It's coming from something deep down inside of you that you have not healed or looked at or even considered. It could be a trauma from a parent that has yelled at you. So you don't want to get into an argument. So then you fester that shit in, and then you explode, and then you're like, well, me. I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the best I can. That person's not. Well, you have no control over that person. The only person that you have control over is yourself. And do you want to live a life where you're happy, a life where you're unbothered, a life where people can sit there and run their mouths and be assholes, and you could be like, okay, like that doesn't affect me. You don't affect me because I'm living for me. That's where we need to get to, where we realize that all this energy that we put into other people should be focused on ourselves. If you're someone that is always out with people, if you're someone that doesn't like to be alone, I challenge you to be alone, because you will figure out what it is that you want and what you need. Outside of all of the noise that's in your head from all the anger that you haven't left out, for all the anger that came from family, that came from relationships, that came from whatever. If you don't actually deal with that, then it's going to accumulate in your body. So next time you feel like you're getting triggered, next time somebody's affecting you and your head can go for a second like, hey, it shouldn't really be that serious, I want you to sit with it for a while. Give yourself 10 to 30 minutes, whatever it is you need, of silence. Because I'm telling you, all the answers that you look for in life, every time you're searching for an answer, it is inside of you. You're asking your friends, you're asking your family, what do you think? What do they think? They don't live your life. You live your life. And only you know the answer when it comes to your life, because it's up to you to decide. You've lived through whatever traumatic situations you've been through. You lived through all of this. So you know you best, and you need to stop sleeping on yourself, because you have the answers. You have just never been taught to sit in silence and really listen to what your body, what your heart, what your soul is trying to tell you. There are miserable people in the world, and there's really not much we can do about it. And sometimes they're in our lives, they're in our immediate circles. You never know. But the one thing that you can do is control your peace, control your mind, control where it goes when you're in an uncomfortable situation, when you're in a situation that may be triggering. Start thinking about how you can change the narrative in your mind. You can get to a place in your life where someone upsets you, and instead of reacting, you can pause, ask yourself why, and take some time to yourself. You may start to uncover what is truly holding you back in life, what is truly keeping you from believing in yourself, from having self-esteem, from moving into the direction of life that you want. We always assume that these things are little things, but it's the accumulation of anger, it's the accumulation of negative emotions that we never process that make us start at a high level of anger and stress to begin with. We haven't healed those. We haven't actually addressed what has upset us to begin with. So how do you expect yourself to be positive and to go through life being somebody that you would look up to if you can't be honest with yourself? It's scary to admit that people can hurt us and manipulate us, but the freedom that you can truly receive for yourself is the moment that you can look all of that trauma in the eye and say, you don't define me. This situation doesn't define me. These people don't define me. These broken relationships, broken friendships, broken family ships. I'm leaving that in there. They don't define you. You define you. It's up to you. You grew up looking around at the world, trying to piece together what parts of it made you, and in reality, you are who you are. So make sure that if you're being triggered, to really ask the question of why. Because if you don't want to be triggered anymore, if you don't want to be upset, if you don't want to live in a mindness attitude where you're constantly getting angry because you cannot control other people, because think about how hard it is for you to change and then try and put that on somebody else. That's a lot. They've got to want to change. That's how life works. People usually change when they want to, or if they've hit some sort of rock bottom. So if you're expecting a lot from people that consistently let you down, the stress resides in you. The trauma resides in you. But when you can rely on yourself, when you can believe in yourself, when you can love yourself, be your own best friend, be your own cheerleader, you don't need anything else. And the rest of the world doesn't seem so hard, because you found what you needed inside of you. And you can do that, and you can be that. And the world around you will slowly stop triggering you, because you'll start to feel so confident and happy in yourself. You'll be like, oh, I see that. That is a lesson for me right now. That person's pissing me the hell off. Let me sit down and figure out what this is trying to teach me. When you can get in that mindset of what is this trying to teach me, because people are one of two things, a blessing or a lesson. When you can figure out why you're being triggered, why this is upsetting you, you will find your own soul's freedom. So believe in yourself. Don't give up. When an opportunity, and I'm calling it an opportunity, when an opportunity of negativity comes your way, look at it that way. It's an opportunity. It's a lesson. It's something to be learned. Learn from it. Why is this pissing me off? Where is this internally coming from? Did this come from childhood? Did this come from a relationship? Why is it hurting me? And what do I have to do to heal it? And once you start practicing that, you're going to be a queen, king, whoever you are. You're going to be so strong. You know why? because all of the petty shit from other people who are unhappy will just fly right off of your shoulders. And you are totally capable of being that person. As long as you practice and as long as you keep believing in yourself, because you are 100% capable of being your best advocate. So that is it for today. If you guys have any questions, if there's anything you guys want me to do for videos in the future, leave it in the comments. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of the above. If this helped you, if this may help other people, I would love to help people. That's kind of why I'm here. But yeah, let me know, and I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you take this into consideration, because I want you to have the type of freedom internally that we all so rightly deserve. Again, this is the Karmic DF from TikTok. I love you guys so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.